And after that, it just sort of picked up steam. And when I hit my early professional career, I knew I had to get more training, and it's sort of a trade rather than a classic. Even when I was getting my master's, the film side of things is very much a trade, and you have to learn technical skills. And I'm still learning every day, so I don't think that will ever end. But hopefully one day I can consider myself a master of the craft. We'll see.
Hey, you're doing pretty good, I think. Do you mind if I ask you another video question?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people take their own video and photo now, right? It's a common part of culture today, right?
Right.
Is there one, and I'm sorry to just throw this at you, but is there one tip you would give to people? Because I notice people making some mistakes when they're shooting their videos. And, I'm at the concert. I was at the Styx REO concert a few days ago in Grand Rapids, and people are taking video, and I'm like, you can't see anything. It's going to sound terrible. Why are you taking the video,
Yeah, I mean, my opinion for people taking videos is be intentional. Don't just throw something up there, and ruin the experience that, if you're at a concert or you're doing something that's really memorable, sometimes the video is not going to justify what you're seeing and feeling when you're there, and I would actually just put it down and enjoy the moment.
Wow.
Don't take the video, John. That's Eli's advice.
Leave it to the professionals.
Leave it to me. I'll show up. I'll shoot your video.
We don't need your video. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good advice, because I think I find myself putting my phone down a lot more than I used to maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because you just kind of want to live in the moment, right? But then when to bring it out. When you need it.
No, absolutely. And I think having the video element now, like, you can legitimately shoot a movie on your iPhone, and the production quality can be up there. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it, but if you really want to experience something, consider putting it down or be intentional about what you're shooting. And if you are trying to make something beautiful, again, make sure you are very specific in what you're trying to capture, because just waving your phone around isn't going to be the best video.
Yeah, after too many drinks at those concerts, people tend to move them around a lot.
That's true.
Classic.
Get your stabilizer.
Well, they should have built-in stabilizers in them now. So hopefully that compensates.
I gotta get an upgrade, man. So Eli, you've done a lot of different video stories for MLive, but you just recently completed one about up-and-coming hockey player that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So Evgeny Svechnikov is a big prospect, Detroit's first-round pick.
What's his name again?
Evgeny Svechnikov.
Okay.
But people call him Gino, which is a little easier for the American tongue. Gino.
Oh, Gino. I like Vino better. Okay.
Yeah, so we did a story on his journey to the NHL, and then he got a call up just a couple weeks ago, and he's been playing with the Red Wings, number 77, if you guys tune into Red Wings games. But if you're interested in his story, definitely check out that video, because he's a really humble guy, really great player, and has a ton of talent. I'm excited to see what he does with his career.
I like that you went really behind the scenes to get to know a young up-and-coming player, and you really took people, like, what it's really like.
Absolutely. It's fascinating because, you would imagine, even with professional players, that they live sort of this glamorous life, even the AHL, but it's a life of waking up, working as hard as you possibly can, and sort of obsessing over the game in a lot of ways, because you need to master your craft at such a young age. So his journey is really amazing, and how he got here from Russia and what his parents did. It was just, it's an amazing story.
I love it. It was really good. Well, I love that you get to you go behind the scenes just like we do here at Behind the Mitten, telling stories, but using video. If people want to see that video, Eli, where do they go to find it?
So you can find it at mlive.com, usually embedded in one of our Red Wings articles, but if you want to dig a little deeper, you can find it at our MLive Facebook page, our sports page, or our MLive YouTube page.
I love it. Well, Eli, thanks for joining us and sharing some of your reflections on your move back to Michigan. We were really happy to have you on Behind the Mitten.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
All right. You know what, John? We're going to talk a little bit more about what's happening at Looking Glass Brewery here in Dewitt, and a little bit later we will do Beer of the Week. So stay tuned to Behind the Mitten.
I'm Eli Zink, a producer and videographer for MLive. You can find all of our videos at mlive.com or at our MLive YouTube page, and you're listening to Behind the Mitten.
And welcome back to Behind the Mitten. John Gonzalez along with Amy Sherman having a great time in beautiful DeWitt. I think for a couple of reasons. We're at a cool new place, and across the street is Sweetylicious, where I love their pies, Amy.
They were your pick for Michigan's best pie, right? What did you like so much about it?
Well, number one, they're made by Linda, the owner, and for some reason she just has that extra magic touch. You're a chef too. When someone makes that with love, care, attention to details, everything that she makes over there is from scratch. She's not putting mixes in it, which is hard to do, especially for a pie company. But she also sources local fruit too. So a lot of the fruit that she uses are from these local farms. And in DeWitt, there's several when it comes to apple and cherry and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are good pies because she's got a couple different locations. She has one in Grand Rapids.
Downtown Market, yeah.
Yep. Does she have another one too, or just DeWitt and downtown?
Just the one downtown
GR?
Market, yeah.
Yeah, but worth it to go check out her pies. If you can't make it to DeWitt, you can always go to the one in Grand Rapids. But they are pretty yummy. I would concur with your selection as Michigan's best.
Oh, I appreciate that. We are a team. One thing I do love too when we go to breweries, I love, and we talked about this not too long ago, the new breweries that are popping up are also taking food into consideration because they know the market, and people don't go to brewery anymore just to have a beer. They want a full experience. Yeah,
they totally do, and those are the types of breweries that you're seeing still open across the state of Michigan, are these neighborhood gathering places, and that's exactly what Looking Glass is here in DeWitt. It's just open, but I'm sure it's going to become a community gathering space because it's friendly to all. You can come in with your group of guys. You could come in with a book club. You could have your family come in. They even have a little area for the kids, and they have a special kids menu as well. So lots of selections for families here. So let's talk to the chef. And you guys have kind of an interesting thing going on here at Looking Glass. It's a little bit different than most breweries. So I want to welcome Melood Abugasea. I got it right.
That's right, Amy.
Who is with Big Guy Foods. And you guys have like a partnership with Looking Glass where you're running the kitchen here.
That's right. It's very much a partnership. And like you said before, we are trying to cater to everybody, kids included. It is a brewery, but we are very much a family atmosphere. It does bring in a unique situation where Looking Glass Brewing Company, they want to focus on the beers, and as such, when they were trying to determine how to put the whole project together, what they would do about the food. And so that's kind of where I came in. I met the guys. We went through some talks. We went through some food tasting, and we determined, that it would be best suited to have a full kitchen. When you walk in here, the goal is seamlessness. We're very much two separate companies, but when you come in, we're going to treat you like it's one company, and it's going to look like one company, though on the back end, everything is very much separate.
Nobody needs to know that part. No, I'm kidding.
Yep.
But one thing that I think is smart for this, because I've seen it happen with other breweries, is brewers, they know how to brew beer, and they might not know anything about the restaurant side. They open, and then they're suddenly like, they're running two separate businesses. They're running a restaurant and then they're running a brewery, and they don't know how to do one part of it. So to bring in a professional to do that here at Looking Glass, I think that was really smart.
Yeah, it definitely worked out for the best. The original plan was to possibly have food trucks outside, but with Michigan weather being feet of snow in the wintertime,
or in the summer.
Yeah. Or, maybe next week. This is Michigan. We took the space that they had dedicated, and we put the indoor kitchen so that if people want food, they don't have to go outside. They can order from a menu and not have to deal with the elements.
Let's talk about the menu real quick. I didn't get a chance to look at it. A little bit of everything. Burgers. What do you have?
Right. We're trying to do a little bit of everything. Burgers, bar food, trying to incorporate beer where we can, but also kid-friendly, hence the kids section of the menu. But the main focus is fresh, from scratch, and local. I don't know if you've taken a tour of the kitchen, but you will not find a microwave in there at all, which, for simple things like melting butter, even, I got to break out the pan and we'll melt butter.
That's what a heat lamp's for, man.
Yeah. It takes a little longer than just, pushing 30 seconds on a microwave. But, fresh, local. I'm working with vendors to get the very best. The pulled pork sandwich is a 100% Michigan pulled pork sandwich. We're getting the meat from Byron Center Meats outside of Grand Rapids. The buns are coming from Detroit. The barbecue sauce is made in-house. So we're trying to do things like that across the menu to really incorporate local seasonal products where we can.
And you also have quite a few selections that are vegetarian or vegan, right? Because isn't someone here vegetarian?
That's right, yes. The owner's wife is a vegetarian. Nate, I think, was a vegetarian.
I am right now as well.
He does, yep. And so we're trying to cater to everybody. When you think about barbecue, you think about meat and meat only and heavily sauced items. But that's not always the case. And we're trying to bring that through with the jackfruit sandwich. We smoke it, treat it like it's meat, even though it's nothing like meat.
Well, we look forward to trying
It's still gonna be good,
we look forward to trying several items on a return visit, possibly. Molly, now you are the general manager here, and I know you're excited about working here and getting this thing off the ground. And congratulations to you. What are going to be the challenges from your end? Will you make reservations here? What happens when you walk in the door?
Well, I think I turned it off.
No, you're on. You're
on, Molly. You're on, girl.
Right, yeah.
Well, I've actually lived in this area for my whole life. I've worked in the service industry for about 8 years. Different places, and I think that we're going to have a great crowd here. A lot of regulars. The people of DeWitt are great. Very family oriented, like they said.
And I know you've been waiting for this to open for a while because it's been a bit of a process to get it going, but you've actually been drinking some of the beers from Joel for the last several years, right? You said you're his cousin?
Yeah, yep. Joel's my cousin, and I've been hearing about this place at family gatherings, for years, and he's brought growlers of Lee's beer, and that, sold me his passion for this. I just knew that it was something he really wanted to do. He was willing to give up everything, and his wife, was very supportive, and I knew that I really wanted to, help them through this when I tasted the beer, and then a year ago I tried Melood's food, and I knew that, the beer's good, the food's good, and I'm going to do my best to help the service
and it has been quite a process. I mean, you've seen the transformation of this building, and if you're just tuning in, we're at Looking Glass Brewing in DeWitt, and you guys are in a former church that's been totally remodeled. What was that process like, watching this transform?
Well, the first time I came in, the whole basement had trenches dug for the floor drains. It was a muddy mess. And I just smiled at Joel and said, yeah, it looks great.
I see it.
See what
you're going to do here with that money mat.
And I knew it would come together, but it really has been quite the transformation. You walk in and it looks like it's always looked this way.
It's gorgeous. I mean, you're right. You walk in here and you go, and like I said earlier, it looks like a new build. I mean, this looks like it's a brand new place that just opened up.
Yeah.
The attention to detail is incredible.
There's no clear glass windows, but that you still get the feeling. You still get the sun from the stained glass, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it.
Very cool. Molly, now you've tried some of the menu items from Chef here.
Yeah.
What's your favorite things on the menu? What should I order when I come to Looking Glass?
I'm all about the meat. So,
all right, that's my girl.
The brisket and the pulled pork are phenomenal. The mac and cheese is awesome too. It's so creamy and cheesy.
Chef, do you have a favorite?
Oh boy,
everything. You can say everything.
I would say, my favorite these days is smoked corned beef.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, regular brisket used to be my thing, but once I had smoked corned beef, it really
changed your life.
Yeah, it was.
It's a life changer.
Yeah.
Now, is the whole menu up on the webpage, or do they have to go to your webpage to find it, or how does that work since you guys have this partnership?
I believe the menus are going to be shared across the different web pages. I'm not sure the exposure that they have on their side right now. I know that it is definitely posted through Facebook on both platforms.
For both Looking Glass and for Big Guy
Correct,
Food?
Yep,
Okay,
correct.
Perfect. I love it. That's a good way to get it. All right, well, Chef, thank you so much for joining us here on Behind the Mitten. All right, Molly, you nailed it.
Yeah.
Good job, and thanks for sharing your story and all the good things to eat here at Looking Glass. I can't wait to try them the next time we get to come back, right, John?
That's right.
All right, guess what? Finally, it's time for Beer of the Week. Coming up next on Behind the Mitten.
And welcome back to Behind the Mitten. John Gonzalez along with Amy Sherman having a fantastic time in DeWitt, Michigan. And, Amy, we learned a lot about the food program they're going to have here at Looking Glass Brewing Company in DeWitt.
Yeah, we did. It sounds really amazing, and I think I love how over and over we're hearing that Looking Glass is really going to be a family-friendly place, and it goes all the way down to fun menu items for the kids to enjoy when they come, and a really great community gathering place for the town of DeWitt.
Yeah, if you're just tuning in, folks, this is Behind the Mitten with John Gonzalez and Amy Sherman, and today we are in DeWitt, Michigan, and we've had some great guests up until this point.
Up until this point.
Yes,
I'm not so sure about this next guest.
But we got a chance to talk to the owner of Looking Glass.
We did.
One of the co-owners.
Thank you, Joel Dillingham, for welcoming us into Looking Glass. This is a busy